Oh, I know. It's taken me forever to get this bed done. Hey, good morning. So I've been procrastinating. I've been making up excuses. I've been doing other things besides finishing this bed. With the temperature the way it's been really cold. Winter setting in, and I am getting close. Maybe by the end of the month I'll have some paint on here, and that's my goal. Weather's warmed up. This is where that fuel filler hose is coming through here. I'm just going to trim that out for clearance. I don't know that I needed to trim this out at all, or even very much. It'd be so much easier to do this right now with everything out of the way, and I'd rather have more than enough than be too tight. So got that taken care of. Oops. I noticed here just a little bit ago when I was test fitting this, that this tab right here, when the tailgate closed up, it was rubbing right here. Tolerance was too close. The way this was fitting right here. What I did, where this hinge setup goes in here, I welded a couple of washers on there for shims. So that'll force the tailgate that way a little bit, and that gave me the clearance, and then it's not wobbling back and forth when it's opening and closing. That's why I test fit some of this stuff. My gaps on the tailgate were really good when it was closed, and I'd open it, and if I wasn't careful closing, then it would rub on that. So I took care of that with this, putting a couple of shims on there, stacking them on there. So anyhow, just keep on going here. Well, this is kind of where we're at. Got a few of the bolts in here. I marked where the holes will be. And this is a 4x8 sheet. This bed, I didn't realize it in the beginning, but the bed is wider than 4 feet, which is nice if you're throwing plywood in. However, you can see that little bit of black there. That's I marked it with a Sharpie. That's where the bolts are rubbing in a few places. So when I pull the plate back out, I can hit these with the grinder, just kind of get a little clearance there. I got a couple of holes here that I need to weld up. So I got the front fitting really nice. Made one nice cut, but I will put a little seam sealer in here just to make it look clean. I like that look when it's clean. These rails here ended short about a ½ inch, so I had to weld in a little piece here just because it looked horrible. So I got that taken care of. Now, so like I said, I marked out each place where these bolts are that I need to notch them. And then I have the bed bolts that I need to drill in. And obviously, I can't tell where they should be. I bolted in a couple of the crossbars, and now that way I can get underneath and see where the holes are located. Excuse the dust, I'm collecting dust over here. Frame rail, there's one hole there I will use. And I need to move this carefully. But I think I'll just use this one and that one, just put 4 holes in. That way I'm not drilling unnecessary holes, and it'll look cleaner. And so my thought, is, since there's really no way of locating them without actually doing this, I bolted these crossbars in, and I can see right where the holes need to be. So anyhow, I'll mark these holes, both sides, front and rear, onto that aluminum plate up in here, and I'll know exactly where those holes need to be. And this, the only way I know of how to do it and get them actually fairly close. So we'll get that taken care of. Now that I've located all these holes and marked them, I can actually pull this deck. Then I can actually pull this deck out and take care of everything all at one time, and then put it back together for the last time. So I had a little dilemma. I figured out what to do, but these high spots for these diamond plate, for these diamonds, won't allow that carriage bolt to sit down flush. It wants to ride up on top of those high spots. So I didn't have a tool, so I just made me a little tool that basically it's a bolt and a big nut that's about the right size for the head, and I just cut a bunch of grooves in it, just kind of like some kind of a little mill, and I can run this down there, and that'll knock these high spots down. I can clean that up just a little bit. And there, that'll allow that to sit down there flush. Just need to do 3 more. I actually made a smaller one for these smaller bolts, for these 7/16 bolts. Same thing, I wanted them to sit down flat with the metal, and so I made a smaller version as well. Works pretty handy. I don't have the hood ready yet, but I need to get ready for the hood. So I got these nasty old hinges. They're really good shape. They're not all wore out like some of them are. So I'm going to sandblast them and prime them with this here. It's a self-etching primer. It's really good stuff. So I'm going to use that for a primer since I got it here. Then I'm going to paint it with this satin black. This stuff's awesome. This Ace brand is pretty inexpensive, but it's pretty much the same as Krylon. Covers really good. 2 good heavy coats and it's painted. And durable. So I'm gonna do that, strip these down, pop them apart, sandblast them, prime them, paint them, and have them ready to put on that pickup. I'll probably bolt them on as soon as they're ready, and then when I get the hood done, pop it on. And soon, I don't know when. With them done. Here. It's pretty good. Way better than it was. Once it's dry, I'll collapse the hinges, just see if there's any spots that I missed in there. I'm sure there is, back behind where the arms are. So just gotta let it dry and then they'll look like brand new. So we're gonna wrap her up here. Thanks for sticking with me, bouncing around, getting all this stuff done, bouncing all over the place. I appreciate it. Next weekend, we'll try to get things buttoned up a little tighter, get closer. Maybe, hopefully, towards the end of the weekend, we'll get some paint put on stuff and get this thing assembled. I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to be done by the end of this month or next month. weather holding. We're having some warmer days. We're getting some 30s and 40-degree weather, which is kind of nice. It helps a lot. Otherwise, when we've been down in 10 degrees, and it's just really hard to heat the shop. But things are great. I'm gonna ride it out as long as I can. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you guys next time.